Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the Stretch It Out podcast. Woo! That was good. That was sincere excitement, and that's what we need right now.
I can't wait till we start recording like videos and then you're going to see the music.
Yeah, it's almost there. It keeps popping up. The beta keeps popping up. So
I saw that. I saw that today.
So what's happening? What's going on? I can't believe we are back in Podcastland. Thank you so much to all of our listeners for sticking with us. We hope that you're well wherever you are in the world right now.
And all the chaos of the world. We hope that you're doing amazing.
It's crazy right now. It is super, super crazy. Look, if it's your first time listening, my name's Nick Stretch, and this is my baby sister, Audrey.
Hello.
And I call her my baby sister because my little sis, Alyssa, is my little sis. So little sis is reserved for Alyssa, baby sis for Audrey. I should probably grow out of that, right? I'm going to be 36 in a couple days, so I'll work on that.
It's his birthday week, y'all.
Birthday week. Yeah, thanks, Dad. Dad sent me a text, I think, was it like early Monday morning, and he's like wanted to be the first to wish you a happy birthday week. I mean, he's really... he is like the guy that if you're on time, you're late.
Yeah. That's exactly Dad.
That's Dad. Like, and you are like, you're legit like super late if you're on time. So no, but thanks, Dad. Appreciate you being the first one. And you were the first one. Definitely.
I'm not gonna lie, when I saw that text message, so our family chat, I have it where it's silent because, you know, some people like Dad or you who are in a different time zone wake up much earlier than I do. And it would go off so much that finally I was like, I got to put this on silent because there were times where it was like, I couldn't even sleep because Dad was blowing up the chat. So it's on silent. And so I saw it come through and I'm like, oh, okay, the family chat, we're all talking. And then I saw like, happy birthday, Nick. And at first I was like, wait a second, it's Nick's birthday?
You're like, I missed his birthday?
Yeah, you know, like I immediately second guessed myself. I'm like, wait, is it already like the 27th? Hold on, what month are we in? Well, once I read more into the text, I said week, and I said, oh, okay. I was like, I knew, because I knew Jenna's birthday is before your birthday, and I was like, wait, it's not Jenna. And that's when I really started to freak out. I'm like, did I miss Jenna's birthday? And I was with her the whole time. But
that's crazy. So Jenna's birthday is before my birthday, and I happen to know what day her birthday is. And
take a guess.
It's today.
Oh my God! Ding 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 ding.
Happy birthday to you, Jenna.
She's having a crazy wild day. Everyone's
is she?
calling. Yeah, I didn't know it. Her mom. Everybody's calling her today, and if you go look at her Instagram, it's getting blown up. So she's trying to share all the stories, but I think she's kind of having a hard time keeping up with it.
Well, happy birthday to you, Jenna. It was really great to hang out with you when you guys came to Katy, Texas, and hung out with the MFB crew. So it was awesome. I think I speak on behalf of all of the MFB crew when we say it was a pleasure having you guys here, both of you. So happy birthday. She
loved it so much. She was like, did your brother like me? And I'm like, of course, everybody in the neighborhood loved you.
Yeah.
Why are you questioning that?
That's just how it works. It's Texas, baby.
Yeah.
So, cool. Well, I don't even know where we were going with all of that, but I know what I wanted to hear, what I wanted to talk about on this particular episode. And I wanted to hear about you because, like we were saying before I hit record, really, if I look back on, I don't know how long it's been since we've been in Podcastland. It's been a long time. Like it's totally different in here. Like I feel like all the furniture's been moved around. It's just a crazy land now. I got to familiarize myself again with it all.
I had to dust off the mic. That's what I had to do. I had to do a little blow.
Yeah. A little blow just to get that dust off.
Yeah. What I had to do.
I love it. So, but you've had probably the most fun, right? Out of all of us, or at least all of us on this podcast right now. I think you've had the most excitement in your life, right? I'm not saying that my life's not exciting. I love my life. My life is great, right? I don't want to make Courtney and Noah and Emma feel like, chopped liver over here. Y'all are fantastic. I love you guys. But I'm talking in terms of just getting out and kind of seeing the country, right? Who's doing that right now during, this pandemic? Not a lot of people, right? For starters. One, because it's not very bright, but we won't get into that. We wanted to talk about that was a joke. That was a jab. But I wanted to hear about it, right? Because even when you were here, I know Chris and Matthew and James and Giacomo and the crew was all they had a bunch of questions, I'm sure, about just how things had gone from from Vegas, right? Because that's where you guys left. You guys left out of Vegas, and so I'm sure during your visit here, we were trying to get the scoop, and then since then you've seen the other half of the country, right? And what's crazy to me is all the pictures you were sending us. It was kind of weird because there's just nobody. There's really nobody there, right? It was you guys, and I would love to get just a little bit, more insight, I guess, as to how things have gone and what it's been like. What's the whole experience been like for you guys?
I mean, it was definitely. It was something that she and I have always wanted to do. And that was like something that her and I wanted to do even before we knew each other.
Can I cut you off right there and ask you?
Yeah.
Before I got to ask it the right way, right? Like, I feel like I'm like a journalist. I'm trying to interview you right now, but so I know that Dad hitchhiked across the country when he was like 19, right? 18 or 19 years old. And he's got a lot of cool stories from that. And it's different time, right? I think totally different time, if you consider the pandemic, right? But I wanted to know if you growing up and hearing those stories of Dad doing that when he was really young, did that influence your reason behind wanting to go? Was that part of the influence, like, hey, this is the inspiration, or was that had nothing to do with it?
So, there's actually a whole backstory to that story. So I don't remember hearing like Dad's specific stories. I just remember him telling me, and maybe we can do this one day, Dad, you could tell me about your road trip. But he did tell me when I was 20 years old, and he told me that he had hitchhiked his way across the country. And the one thing that he loved was that he met the different types of people in different communities. Like, everybody was different. Not everybody was the same. So
that's cool.
I'm sure you remember after Dad told me that one time, it was like that night, Dad told me, I hitchhiked when I was 18 and all this stuff. And I was already 20. And I was like, dang, I haven't been anywhere. And I was like, and here I am.
I'm a loser.
Yeah. I was like, I'm 20 years old. I was like, what am I doing? Like, working at Food for Less. Like,
what am I doing with my life?
Yeah. So I felt like, I was like, I need to get out before I get, have kids and stuff like that. So that's actually when I bought my ticket to Italy.
Oh, right on. Okay,
so
cool.
That is a whole reason why he sparked. And there's a lot more to that trip that I won't say on the podcast because I just don't. It's still something that I don't want. I think it's something you and Alessa can know, but I just don't want Dad to know.
Okay. All right.
But
something sketchy happened. Something sketchy happened, right? Is what it sounds like.
Something sketchy to the point where I didn't know if I was going to make it home. Because
that's super sketchy. And that's why I was asking you guys when you're here, I'm like, please tell me you're strapping. Please tell me you got a gun or something, because you just can't go across the country, especially right now, and just be like, hey, hashtag be kind. It doesn't work. Like, people aren't, they're not buying that right now, right? Everybody's stressed out and it's just in a crazy place. I can't even talk. How do you dust off the vocal cords? It's been that long since you've been in Podcastland.
I'm chugging water. I'm pretty sure my room's like 101 degrees right now, and I have these noise canceling headphones, so I feel like I'm really screaming into the mic right now, guys.
It's just energy.
Okay.
It's good. You're good.
So to go back to Dad's trip, that's what sparked the Italy trip, right? And yes, I did fly out there to go see a friend, but part of that trip, I wasn't actually with that friend for that amount of time.
But since then, you've been like a freaking world traveler.
It sparked something inside of me because it was after I got to experience my whole thing. I was like, wow, like people are truly different and the different cultures, and it's crazy to see, right? So that sparked something. So like I said, Jenna always wanted to travel across country, do a road trip, and so did I because I wanted to do it just like Dad. But obviously, I'm not going to hitchhike. I just wanted to drive.
Yeah, you're too bougie for that, right? You're like,
No,
I'm not gonna rough it like Dad.
I'm not going to get murdered. Okay, I'm not going to get kidnapped, and
Although it sounds like you still somehow found yourself at that crossroad. But anyway, we'll talk about that on another episode.
So Jenna had always wanted to do it. Jenna's stuff, everybody knows Jenna used to live here and she moved back to New York back in like December and stuff. But she
And
never
where's here? Las
she
Vegas.
from Las Vegas. She moved from Las Vegas to New York City in like Manhattan somewhere. I can't tell you because I don't know the city that well. But she still had all of her stuff here. So finally, just one day, I was kind of going into a slump because I'm still looking for a job. And I'm still interviewing, I'm putting in applications everywhere, throwing my resume and stuff like that out there. And I just fell into a slump. And so finally I called her up and I said, let's do that road trip. And so she was like, are you serious? Are you down? Because I was going to have my cousin come with me. And I said, have your cousin come. Like, let's do this. When do you want to do it? And boom, within 2 weeks, she was out here. And,
crazy.
It was more expensive for her because she had to rent the vehicle.
Let me just real quickly just give you a quick little glimpse into the minds of the listeners that have children and families right now.
We don't have kids, right?
Yeah. I'm telling you right now, everybody listening, the thought in their head is must be nice. But anyways, keep it going.
I mean, I'm sorry, guys, but you guys have making wonderful memories with your children. So her and I started talking, and we start planning this out. And she's like, okay, well, I definitely want to go to Denver because I've never seen Denver. And I said, hey, light bulb. My friend Cody's my good friend. He lives in Denver. He'll let us stay there. And she's like, awesome. Then she wanted to see Austin, and we were going to stay with one of her friends, but something ended up coming up, and it was so crazy. It's so crazy how the world works out. Okay, because her friend, I believe it was her friend or her cousin, was no longer in Austin, so we couldn't go to their place and stay. And I had said something. Oh, I saw one of my old friends from Smile Direct Club reached out to me, and he was just saying like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I said, "Hey, yeah, like me and my friend we're planning out a road trip." And he said, "Oh, are you stopping in Austin?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "I just moved to Austin. We have to hang out, or you guys can come and stay at my place."
Perfect timing.
Yeah, and I'm like, "What?" But then his name is Joham. Shout out to Joham. But so then Joham texts me like the week before and says, "What days are you guys coming out?" I said, yeah, we're going to be there. I believe it was like the 8th or something like that. I'm not sure. He says, okay, I won't be here. He goes, I'll be in Miami. He goes, but I'm going to leave my car keys in my car. I'll give you the code to my car, and it's got my apartment key and stuff on it. So he let us.
You guys had a hookup. You got to stay at an empty apartment.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
In like awesome downtown. So it's crazy how the universe just like pulled itself together. Where I was like, everything is aligned for this to happen. Like I'm excited for this. And I'm not going to stress about what I have been stressing because there's not much I can do about it.
So yeah, absolutely. So second most fun stop for you guys. What was that? Because I know first most fun. So what was the second most fun?
I will say I'm gonna take Denver and Austin out only because this is the only reason, because I was so excited to see Cody, and I'm still so happy that he let us stay there and I got to see him. But the fact that the drive from Vegas to Denver was an 11-hour drive, then we forgot about the hour time change because the mountain time, and right. Then their canyon caught on fire, so they closed the freeway down. So we didn't get to Cody's until about 10:30 at night, which everything was closed. We couldn't even go to like a restaurant. The only spot we found open was like a random ice cream shop, Insomnia, which was amazing. And even then, we made it by like 5 minutes.
Wow.
So I'm pretty sure Denver would have been my favorite if I got to see all the bars and everything open. But, COVID, everything was closed.
Wow.
And then driving.
It's like getting a taste of like being like one of the pilgrims back in the day.
Like, yeah, it's just kind of, it was a shocker, I think that was the first where it was like, oh wow, okay, COVID, especially coming from Vegas, because Vegas we're still open pretty late. You know, we're still 24 hours, just not everything is. But
Right.
I would say my most favorite stop was in
Your second most. I'm trying to help you
oh
out
sorry,
here.
yeah, second most was, I believe it was South Carolina, and it was visiting Jenna's old like college roommate, who is so awesome, so funny. I hope she gets the position. She was actually applying for like a radio spot position with Morning Brew. I hope she
That's
gets
so
it.
cool.
But that was the first day that Jenna and we went to the beach, and we were able to finally just relax. And that was us like seeing the town, because we were so, as soon as we got somewhere, it was like, okay, we got to like hang out with everybody. We have to go sightseeing. We have to pack everything into, the 7, 8 hours that we were there, sleep, and then get back on the road. So that was the first time that I was like, me and Jenna fell asleep on the beach. We got burned a little bit, but we knocked out. It was the best time.
It's funny you say that because when you guys were here, it was real, like the pressure was on because nobody knew that you guys were only going to be here for one night. I think everybody assumed you're driving all this way, right? And they knew you were on a road trip, but everyone just assumed like she's going to be here for at least a couple nights. Right?
Yeah.
And it was funny because we're all kind of hanging out, neighbors are gathering and having a good time. It was very chill, right? Kind of a Texas pace, if you will,
Yeah.
right? Which is a little bit slower than most. And once the realization kind of hit everybody, and it was different for everybody, right? Like it was probably me telling everybody, like running around telling everybody, hey, she's only here for tonight. And once that was known, it was like almost like this weird like overlay of like that speed dating element, like
Right.
everyone's trying to get as much out of Audrey and Jenna while with this short time that we've got you. And I even felt it because I'm like, oh my gosh, we got to do all of these things, right? And then I don't know what time it was when you guys said, hey, get the home videos out. And we were like, I remember being kind of like, okay, we do have to do the home video thing. Like this has to happen, right? And then it was like, okay, we got to have kolaches because Jenna's probably never had a kolache. We definitely got a barbecue with all the neighbors. So we got to get all the neighbors over here, right? And it was just kind of like all of a sudden, holy crap, we got to cram all this into everything. And everybody's, just like everyone was talking faster, drinking faster. Everything happened faster. It felt like 2 days. Yeah, we went to Cream Mystery. We went and got ice cream. Like we did everything we could pack into that little. How long were you guys here? Like 12 hours or something? It was crazy because you guys were literally gone the next morning, and I was just kind of like, wow, it was weird. Like even myself, like I was just like, wow, like I kind of like had that, I decompressed a little after you guys left. You kind of do that big breath, like, okay, wow, that's over. I like feel like I lived a whole week of my life last night with you guys. It was crazy, but it was fun. It was so much fun just having you guys here. I just really, you could tell I really wanted you guys to stay longer, but I'm super, super glad you guys stopped.
Everywhere we went, it was only one night. Because when we first started planning it, we said the same thing. We were like, we'll go to Denver we'll stay 2 nights in Denver, 2 nights in Katy. And
Visions of grandeur.
And then we were like, we looked at the dates and she was like, oh my God. She's like, we can't do 2 nights anywhere. She was like, that'll be a 2-week road trip every stop we do. And everywhere we went, everyone was like, well, you can stay an extra night. You can stay as long as you want. And we're like, no, we got to get back on the road. Like, we got to go. Because we had to get the car back within that. We only had 1 week. That was it. Wednesday to Wednesday.
Yeah, you guys did a good job of that. Jenna shut me down real quick when I tried to hint at that. I was like, you guys could all. She's like, it ain't happening. She's like, we got to move, And that's when she's like, you pour it up. Let's go. Like, let's get started. We're leaving early in the morning. And I was like, wow. All right, here we go. And hanging out with Audrey and Jenna.
So you have to imagine like that for you guys. That was us everywhere we went.
That's great. Yeah. It's crazy because like we got to be a little part of that, and it was like, I don't know if you remember Star Tours Little Robot, where it was just instantly light speed to Endor. Like that's what I felt like as soon as you guys showed up. And when you showed up, you guys looked tired. You looked exhausted, but it was almost like, I don't know what you did. It was like 5 minutes later. It's like you guys both like used the restroom. Like you probably had to pee like crazy.
Yeah.
And then it was like, you were brand new. You were ready. You were like, all right, let's go. And I was like, wow, this is okay. Like we got to move because you're leaving in like 12 hours.
The thing that kept us alive was like all the cat naps that we did everywhere we went. We were like, we'd get somewhere and be like, okay, let's just do a quick little cat nap, and then
20 minutes.
boom, let's get out. And like the whole time talking to myself, like every time we got to a new destination, I was like, okay, like as long as it was daylight out, like I was good. But the second like the sun started to go down, I'd be like, oh God, I need an energy drink. I need a nap. I need something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I don't know how you did it. I don't know how you did it. And you guys were both really you guys just really were still really cool and just easy to hang out with, right? Even with all of that, being exhausted and doing all of what you guys were doing, you guys just did a really good job of kind of just keeping yourselves collected, if you will.
Until we played Monopoly Deal. That's when things get serious.
But if there's a time for it to get serious, that seems like the best time, in my opinion.
My brother has not seen how competitive I was with that game. And if you guys haven't played Monopoly Deal, you got to play it. So I think we scared him. Jenna was like, I hope I didn't scare your brother by the game. And I'm like, I think I scared my brother by the game.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're not allowed to play it anymore. I burned our game, but it's not that big of a deal. I just told everybody that they're not allowed to bring that into our home anymore.
No one
the Monopoly, what's it called? Monopoly
Deal.
Yeah.
It is the best game.
It's crazy because it takes all the most intense moments that show up every 4.5 hours during a normal Monopoly game, and it crams all of those moments into like 30 minutes, and it's just constant like stress and like anger.
Just like the road trip, it just condensed it, you know?
Yeah, it's a fun game. It's actually a really fun game, but yeah, it was interesting playing that with you guys because it was very, very serious.
Well, we had
still a lot of fun.
After Katie, we actually drove to Houston because our thing, and I'll share photos. I'm actually supposed to be getting a package like any minute right now. So if you hear the doorbell ring, that's what it is. Awesome. But I'm building it's like my road trip board. So it's actually a piece of wood that was cut out in the shape of the United States. And then you can see all the states. They're all drawn out. And so I'm actually going to repaint it how I want it to be painted, screw in some like little clips because everywhere we went, we took Polaroids. And you have one of those.
I remember. Yes.
So everywhere we went, we took 3 Polaroid photos for Jen and I to have, and then the person that we stayed with to have. That was like the thing. So I'm actually going to be doing like a little art project with that. And I'm going to map out the route that we took.
Oh, that's cool. I'd like to be able to share that on our Instagram page.
Yeah. So once I get that done, I'll probably be like a week because I got to paint it a lot. I got a lot of ideas going on in my head for it. But yeah, so after we left you guys, we drove into Houston because we wanted to take a photo with the murals. That was our biggest thing. We had to stop in every city and take a photo with the mural. So we drove up to Houston, which was only like 30 minutes. And then we drove out to New Orleans. But we were only supposed to stay in New Orleans for lunch and then go straight to North Carolina to see her cousin. But honestly, like once we got to New Orleans, I'm like, we're not going to have time to eat lunch and then go to your cousin's. I was like, we need to stay here for one night before we exhaust ourselves. And so we got a hotel in New Orleans.
Good call. How was NOLA? Did you like NOLA? Was it weird? Everything being shut down?
So it didn't feel like anything was shut down.
That's awesome.
So I remember New Orleans a long time ago because I remember we went as a family. I remember going with Mom and like Aunt Betty and Aunt Donna.
Yeah, I have home video of that.
Yeah.
Or someone does. I don't know if I have it, but yeah.
So I remember, obviously as a kid, I remember it much differently and stuff, but it was a little, you still couldn't go like into the bars. Everything was outside, which I guess like that's the thing now is just taking bars and moving them onto the streets. So
it works.
We went and got, we had some amazing seafood at a restaurant. Our waitress was so awesome. I got a little too drunk because I was too excited, I think I got more excited because I wasn't going to be driving through the night. So I drank a little too much too early on. But Jenna needed to see Bourbon Street. And I think we walked up Bourbon Street about like 7 or 8 times because she just wanted to walk and see it. It was a little bit, trying to find like a polite word to say.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Bourbon
Street Yeah, it's got its good spots, its bright spots, and then it's got its really weird, smelly spots.
Yeah.
But
So it was like, and it felt like because of COVID, the nicer spots weren't open. It was only like the dirty spots.
right,
And
I got you.
it was only like it was a little trashy, a little bit. So I felt bad. That's how she saw it. But she loved it. She was like, "Oh my god, New Orleans!" She was completely obsessed with it, and I had to pull her because Jenna's obsessed with tchotchke stuff, and so she'd be like, "Oh, a souvenir store," but really it was like a voodoo shop, and I'm like, "No, we're not doing that." And I'm like, "We're not bringing any spirits back with
You're
us."
like, have you seen The Princess and the Frog? Like, we ain't playing.
We're not doing that.
Yeah, you don't play with the Shadow Man.
But it was a lot of fun. I was excited because she's never tried a beignet. And the next morning, we had to go get her. I was like craving them, so really it was for me, not so much for her.
They're so delicious.
We ate like 12 of them
a piece.
So in one bag,
Wow.
you get 3 of them, right? And so she was like, "Okay, so we'll just get like one bag." And I like kind of looked at her and I'm like, "Girl, we're gonna get 2 bags." Or I said, "I'm gonna get 2 bags." And she's like, "Oh, okay, so I can have a bag and you can have one." And I said, "No, I'm getting 2 bags." Like,
You're a stretch, Audrey. You're a stretch. That's what we do. Like, how does Jenna not know that? Like, that is what we do, especially if we're out, right? Like, if we're out to eat, we order food as if it's our last meal, and it doesn't matter if it's breakfast, lunch, brunch, dinner, dinner. We do that. Why? Why do we do that?
Because we're stretching.
Are you choking over there? Are you eating right now? Are you eating right now? No, seriously, I get it because that's how I am, especially. But when you're traveling and you only have so much time and you're like, you know what, when's the next time I'm going to be here? Why does our mind go, eat a pallet's worth, right? Just eat. Why do we do that? I don't get it.
I swear, I was like, it was like, it's like we know it's bad, right? Because I was scared to tell Jenna. You know, I was a little bit embarrassed to be like, "No, Jenna, 2 bags are just for me." And the look on her face was like, "Well, damn." She was like, "Well, I'll get 1 bag."
Oh, damn. All right. Yeah, that's just how it works. I mean, she's learning still, but that's
like,
fine.
Because I'm like, it's the best spot to get them. I'm like, I'm not going to be back in New Orleans anytime soon, you know. So I was like, I gotta get 2, and I'm going to be on the road. I'm gonna eat them on the way. But
I get it. I get how we convince ourselves why we do it. I want to know why we're convincing ourselves to do that.
Oh, everything at dinner.
We do it all the time.
At dinner, I was like, "Oh, it's New Orleans. We got to get gumbo." So they were like, "Okay." So they gave me gumbo. Then I was like, "Well, I got to have this like seafood ravioli stuff. So give me that seafood ravioli too, and give me a mint julep, and anything that was like New Orleans, I wanted."
Yeah.
But so yeah, for the trip from New Orleans to North Carolina was beignets. I don't even think we stopped for food, really.
Well, I wonder why. Yeah. Well, that's cool though. That sounds like an awesome trip. Sounds like a really good time. I wish that I could go to NOLA and get a beignet right now. That would be, and that's a lie, right? That's total BS. What I just said, a beignet.
In 4 bags.
I wish I could have a beignet. Yeah, that's a bold-faced lie right there. But I would like to have 12 beignets. I think that would be awesome.
It would, but you also got kolaches.
Yeah, we had to get kolaches, right? And of course, when I went to get kolaches, I did the same thing, right? It's just so much easier to just go, give me 1 or 2 of everything, right? Yeah. It's easier, it's quicker, and and that's basically what I did.
After she ate it, we were driving, right? And oh no, we didn't go to North Carolina. So I went to Nashville after New Orleans.
I remember you went to Nashville. I remember the pictures. Yes.
So it was in Nashville that we're driving there or something like that, and then she, like, out of nowhere, it's just dead quiet. We're just listening to the radio and stuff, and then Jenna's like,
"Is that what you did?"
No, that's not.
I'm sorry, I'm kidding.
I was like, "Nick, did you really just do that?"
Yeah, and I'm not going to edit that out. That was just me being childish.
No, we're driving, it's just dead silent, and then you just hear Jenna go, "I really want a kolache."
She's sold, right? She's sold. Awesome. Good job, Jenna.
She started Googling like kolaches in New York, and I'm like, I don't know if they got that there. I'm like, I don't know if that's a thing. I'm like, the best you can try is Chinatown.
Jenna, you're awesome. That's so cool because that means she really liked them, and that's just awesome.
The kolaches are the best. So
They're amazing.
We made a lot of stops. I forgot about Nashville. Her cousin let us stay with her in Nashville. Her cousin Lissa and her fiance. Congratulations to them.
Congrats.
Great couple. Awesome. Super, super, super cute. Very, very kind. They had 2 dogs and a cat, and the cat slept with us. And I'm pretty sure that I'm allergic to cats now at this point. And Jen is allergic too, but the cat slept with us. And he was so cute. He curled up right to our face and was like purring all night long. And then we woke up with like some pretty bad allergies.
That'll teach you.
But he was
teach you to cuddle up with the kids.
And then after that, we went to, I believe that's when we went to North Carolina to see her other cousin, which the 2 cousins are sisters. Her other cousin, Brianna, who is a freaking bad ASS. She is actually in the military. So thank you for her service.
Yes, thank you. Thank all of our active military and veterans. Appreciate that.
So she took us out for a really fun time, a really cool little bar. It was like all about like robots and artwork and stuff. So it was a really fun bar that we went out there, and it was just cool because we got to meet a lot of people, and we took photos with like the waitress, and the waitress was awesome. But like even the waitress told us, you know, I'm happy. She was like, I'm so happy you girls are like here tonight and you guys are my table because, and I just want to say like, keep this girl in your prayers. Her name was Emily. She was an awesome waitress. We were very silly and very goofy, but towards the end of our dinner and stuff, she said, you know, she was happy that we came in because she was having a really rough night. She has a twin brother who attempted suicide that night. And
that's sad.
Yeah.
That's
so
sad.
Doesn't sound like it was the first time, but she wasn't able to be there with him because it was like a 10-hour drive away, and she's going to school to become a doctor, you know, so.
Gotcha.
But
super sad.
Yeah, but that's, you know, this is why I love traveling, because you get to learn other people, a complete stranger's story, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's what I enjoy about it. It's not just about cramming everything in.
It sounds like you guys had a really good time, and I think that's super cool. I'm glad you guys took a lot of pictures and stuff too, and I'm super glad we got to be a part of that, you know, even for that little couple hours you were here. So
everybody, the MFB crew, anybody who's listening that we stayed, thank you guys for allowing us into your homes and hosting us for 12 hours.
Yep. I'm sure they'll appreciate that. Happy birthday again to Jenna, and happy birthday. It's a late one, but we didn't have a podcast going on. Otherwise, we would have wished Giacomo a happy birthday because his birthday was earlier. I don't remember exactly what day it was. Yeah, so we went to dinner here recently and kind of hung out. Giacomo and Matthew and Chris, James, had some dinner with him. So I did the same thing. I overate, ate way too much. Yeah, kind of. But happy birthday, happy belated to him. So cool. Well, I'd like to wrap it up. I know we're going to try to record another episode this week, so because it's just been so long. And you know, we really do want to hear from our friends and family, our listeners. You know, for our friends and family listening, if there's something you'd like to hear us chat about, please just shoot us a text or call me, right? Or send it to me on Facebook or whatever.
Shoot it over on Instagram, because I'd love to, like, you know, put those stories up.
Yeah, for our friends and family that are, you know, just part of our Stretch It Out family, the listeners across the globe, if you will. Send us something on Instagram, send us something on Facebook, or, you know, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to chat about the things you'd like for us to provide some perspective on. We don't care what it is, how deep it is or how shallow it is, if it's funny, goofy, silly. We would just really like to try to connect with you more and try to provide that space, especially during these times, for us to just hang out, right? I mean, that's really what it is. I'm a big fan of, you know, like podcasts and YouTube channels. And I like just like one of my favorite YouTube channels, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to turn this into an RC thing.
Yes, he is.
But I have, you know, one of my favorite YouTube channels is Mark Santa Maria, right? I've showed you his channel, I think, before. One of my favorite podcasts is the No Name RC podcast. Yes. And I tune into those things because I was trying to break it down for myself why I like it so much. And it's because they've created a space for me that I know I can go to that's consistent, and it's always going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. I enjoy hanging out with them. Even though I'm not speaking to them directly, I feel like they're there with me. I'm hanging out, and it's just awesome, connecting with people in that medium, that space. So I want to do that more with you guys, right? With our listeners. You guys already know, we're not really focused on trying to reach a bunch of people. We want to, go deeper with the people that we made this for. That's our friends and family, and
exactly,
and the rest of our friends and family that part of the Stretch It Out podcast. All the people that just happen to be tuning in from all over. I think it's awesome, right? So we just want to provide that space and make that more valuable for you. So send us messages, shoot us a note, and I've got to figure out how to get some more life into our the social media part of the Stretch It Out podcast, because I'll be honest, I spend probably 99.9% of my time just doing RC stuff, looking at RC stuff, watching RC videos. There's just, the RC world is so big, and I'm always in that. But I want to figure out how to create a little more content for people could be of value to you guys on that medium as well, social media. So anyways, that's all I got. Audrey, you got anything else?
Just happy birthday to Giacomo. Jenna, happy birthday week to Nicholas.
Thank you,
everybody. And
thank you.
I hope everybody stays safe as always.
Yes, please stay safe, and please. I know it's tough right now because we're all stressed and we got a lot going on. But please try to be kind, right? I'm working on it too. I'm saying that because I need to work on it. And I do not have it figured out, but I need to work on it. Yeah, even though they can't see you smiling under the mask, smile anyway.
Exactly. Smile with your eyes.
Keep it up. Yep. Keep smiling. Be kind. All that good stuff. Thanks so much for listening. Love you guys. Talk to you guys in the next one.
See you next week or this week.
Soon. Peace.